What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So, Blitzcrank, this is the League of Legends champion I'm going to be covering today. He is actually from Zone. Now recently I went through the map explore of Zone, so if you're interested in that, feel free to check that one out. Yeah, he is the first champion I'm going to be covering. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do what I always do, which is his bio. Then I'm going to go through and cover his skins. I'm also going to go through his story. He doesn't seem to have a login theme, so I've got a substitute. I won't tell you which one it is, but I've got one that's going to take his place. His spotlight is very old, so I won't do that. And he doesn't seem to have any special interactions, or at least any original special interactions. So we'll see what I'll do there. Either way, I'll time start the whole thing as I always do. And yeah, without further ado, let's go. So, a single gear turning can make all the difference. Okay, we have his short story here, which we'll go through shortly. Assemble, and art gallery. So, in fact, let's just do something a little bit different. Let's start things off with the art gallery. So, Blitzcrank concept sketch. Okay, so this is one of the original sketches. Okay. Oh, and this is another one. Another original concept sketch. And another one, and I imagine the last one, yeah. Oh, woi. I like how it's kind of, it's gymming it, and he doesn't do the legs. No, you don't do. There's no leg day, and that gets more and more and more obvious. Favorite one, I would say number 2. This is my favourite one. I like how he's got different, his hand, it's not symmetrical basically. And I like how he's got a big hand and a smaller one there as well. Yeah, the rest of them are pretty decent as well. But for my favourite one would have to be number 2. Anyways, you don't come for that. Let's go through the bio. So, the bio is Blitzcrank the Great Steam Golem. Okay. Zone is a place of wondrous, in fact, let me zoom in there. Zone is a place of wondrous experimentation and vibrant, colourful life where everything can be achieved, but not without a cost. For all its boundless creativity, there is also waste, destruction, and suffering in the Undercity, so pervasive that even the tools created to alleviate it cannot escape its corrosive grasp. So we saw a little bit about this in the map explorer as well. Designed to remove the toxic waste claiming whole neighbourhoods from Zone, lumbering mechanical golems toiled in violently hazardous locations, probably in, what was it called? Was it called the Sump, the bottom layer of Zone? One such golem worked alongside its fellows, fulfilling its programming to reclaim Zone for the people. But the caustic reality of their mission soon wore away at its robust form, and before long it was rendered inoperative and discarded as useless. Useless to all but one person, the inventor. Victor discovered the abandoned golem, and seeing the potential still within the inert chassis, inspiration struck. Victor began a series of experiments seeking to improve the automation by introducing a new element that would elevate, shall I say, what could this be? It far beyond the original scope of its creation. Hextech. Implanting a priceless Hextech crystal sourced from the deserts of Shurima into the chassis of the Forsaken Golem, Victor waited with bated breath as the machine rumbled to life. Victor named the golem Blitzcrank after the fizzing arcs of lightning that danced around their frame, an unexpected side effect of the Hextech crystal, and sent them down into the most toxic regions of Zone. Not only did Blitzcrank prove as capable as any of the other steam-powered brethren, but they accomplished their tasks with vastly improved speed and efficiency. And as the days turned to weeks, Victor began to watch something miraculous unfold. His creation was learning. Okay. Blitzcrank innovated, interpreted, and extrapolated on their daily directives. As a result, they did far more to preserve the people of Zone, and even began to interact with them on a regular basis. Seeing his golem progress to the cusp of self-awareness, Victor sought to replicate his achievement, but found only frustration and failure, as the key to Blitzcrank's blossoming consciousness eluded him. Not all of Blitzcrank's growth was cause for celebration. Concepts like moderation and nuance escaped them, and Blitzcrank would pursue any effort with the entirety of their being, or none at all. They would occasionally overdo or misinterpret the requests of Zornites, such as smashing down the front of a tenement. Oh, not the front of a tenement. Front of a tenement to admit a single resident who had lost their key, or even tearing an entire factory apart. Dispatched by Victor to clear a neighbourhood of toxic chemicals, Blitzcrank traced this caustic runoff to its source. Reasoning that the most efficient means to prevent further pollution was to eliminate the source of the pollution, Blitzcrank proceeded to destroy the factory, their lighting wreathed fists not stopping until it was reduced to a mould of rubble and twisted iron. Enraged, the Chem Baron who owned the ruined factory descended upon Victor, demanding that he destroy the golem or pay a steeper price in blood. Victor was devastated, having come to view Blitzcrank as a living being, so to say, rather than simply a tool to do his bidding. He concocted a scheme to smuggle his creation to safety, ready to accept the dangers and consequences of doing so, but as he returned to his laboratory to set his plan in motion, he discovered that Blitzcrank was already gone. Blitzcrank's evolution began beyond the constraints of their original programming had yet to cease. Having grown into a full self-sufficiency, they resolved to take, I like it says they, not him, they resolved to take, like it's got more than one mind, they resolved to take up their mission independent from their creator. Rumour abound that the golem has even begun to upgrade their own form as they labour tirelessly to assist and protect Zornites without pausing for instruction. They now patrol the city, deciding for themselves how best to shepherd Zorn down the path to become the greatest city Valoran has ever seen. Interesting. Okay, that was good. Good to read up a little bit about Blitzcrank's bio and also his creation in terms of how Victor, in essence, created him as well. I think Victor's part of Zorn as well, so we'll cover him later on. But no, that was good. That was really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to the skins. Let's go. So, role is tank, difficulty is moderate. So in fact, before I move on to the skins, mana barrier. Blitzcrank gains a shield based on his mana when dropping to low health, and we can clearly see that here. Let's look at his Q, rocket grab. Yep, Blitzcrank fires his right hand to grab an opponent on its path, dealing damage and dragging it back to him. By far the most infuriating ability to experience if you were the opposition. So annoying. Overdrive. Blitzcrank supercharges himself to get dramatically increased attack speed. He's temporarily slowed after the effect ends. His E is Power Fist. This is also another very annoying move. Blitzcrank charges up his fist to make the next attack deal double damage and pop his target up in the air. And his final one here, his ultimate, is Static Field. Enemies attacked by Blitzcrank are marked and take lightning damage for 1 second. Additionally, Blitzcrank can activate this ability to remove nearby enemy shields, damaging them and silencing them briefly, as you can see there he's doing to Jace. Okay, so let's move on to his skin. So this is his original skin. Really do like that. Yeah, I really do like his original skin. I like the view of it as well. Yeah, cool. So next one is Rusty Blitzcrank. So before I move on, let me actually go on to the lore of each skin. Let's go. So these are the skins for Blitzcrank. This is his original skin. Blitzcrank is an enormous, near indestructible automation from Zorn, originally built to dispose of hazardous waste. However, he found his primary purpose to restricting and modified his own form to better serve the fragile people of the Sump. I knew it was called the Sump. Blitzcrank selfishly uses his strength and durability to protect others, extending a helpful metal fist or burst of energy to subdue any troublemakers. So basically he's the good guy. He's the good guy. He's the miniature version of the Iron Giant. Next one, Boom Boom Blitzcrank. His fists are named Boom and Boom, proving that robots are a perfect facsimile of human life, and clearly by looking at that he has the belt, so he is the chump as well. What's he stood on? Oh, stood on some poor robot there or something there. Anyway, next one is Piltover's Customs Blitzcrank. Every single time I look at one, I always laugh. It's just, they're just so ridiculous. Your robot's legs were busted, so we replaced them with a vintage 32 hot rod, as you do, and an 8-cylinder external mounted coal engine. We painted flames on his fist. The flames are extra cost, obviously. Obviously the flames cost more, but who wouldn't pay more for flaming fists? So that is that one. Ooh, okay, iBlitzcrank. Built as household assistant automator, thousands of iBlitzcranks were corrupted by program during a routine software update. So program is involved in the lore of project, I think. I'm sure it's Project Hot Psyops. I'm sure it is. With their human owners oblivious to this fact, they continue to help, waiting patiently for their time. Their new command lines are initiated. Kind of like iRobot as well. Okay, that's pretty cool. Next one is Battle Boss Blitzcrank, running off the arcade theme, which I really do like. A boss hailing from a popular science fiction shooter, Blitzcrank is well known in the gaming, their community for cheap mechanics, powerful attacks, and a massive health pool. Vega fittingly made him his gatekeeper of his personal fortress because Vega hates fun. Okay, that is that one. Next one. Wow, it's looking a bit dark. An ancient sentinel corrupted by mysterious black lightning. Rogue Lancer Blitzcrank mercilessly crushes provisional armies, destroying entire castles with kings still on their thrones. What causes its rampage is still uncertain, but for now it seems to be following its dread protocol to the letter. Okay, I like that one. This one here is very similar. I wonder if this is the opposite. A silent protector of the masses. Yeah, probably. The artificial paladin Blitzcrank was aroused from the earth by a bolt of mysterious white lightning. There we go. It now serves all honourable subjects, defending with true and calculated precision. Reminds me there a little bit of Galio actually as well. Okay, next up is Space Groove Blitz and Crank. I recently saw the Space Groove skin for Nasus. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. This one obviously continues that. Blitz and Crank are Cat Planet's fiercest warriors and work together seamlessly mostly to pilot their mech, Blitzcrank. While Crank believes that he can overcome his lack of rhythm with the help of his exuberant pilot, Blitz he's busy dancing to his own beat. Together they plan to take over Dog Planet and claim its sunbeams as you do for themselves. Wow, whoever came up with this design and this law specifically as well. Yeah, it's like something you come up with if you were high. Yeah, definitely. Is that the end of it? Oh no, there's a few more. I've seen this one before. One of the all-time greatest goalkeepers from Chaos FC, Blitzcrank has finally taken his place in the Sports Hall of Fame. His image rests proudly with the likes of Volleyball Dragon, poor Dragon, Women's Tennis Scuttle Crab, poor Scuttle Crab, and Badminton Baron Nashor. Okay, makes sense that he's the goalkeeper though for obvious reasons. Definitely not Blitzcrank. Not a robot. I don't think you're fooling anyone there with that one. Next one here is Riot Blitzcrank. A Riot game skin obtained by either meeting a writer or attending an official Riot event in 2013. Cool, I like how you actually get the skin. And for 2013 as well, that looks nice. That looks really good for 2013. And then we have Witch's Brew Blitzcrank. Once nothing but a simple cauldron, Blitzcrank was enchanted, brought to life in order to assist Misfortune in her beguiling bewitchments. Obviously you got Sauron's eye at the top there as well, but yeah, okay, ignoring that, that's, yeah, okay. Next one, Rare and Limited, Rusty Blitzcrank. I had a feeling they were going to do something like that. It's kind of obvious, considering it is all made of metal. Okay, and then this one here, upcoming. Oh, Victorious Blitzcrank. Right, do you know what I like about this one already? I like the contrast. He stood in the middle. On the left side, you can see Zan, and on the right is Piltover. And from the bio so far, and the map explore we covered as well, getting to appreciate obviously the relationship between the two cities. And I like how that's kind of shown there as well. Nice. Victorious Blitzcrank was awarded to players who reached gold or higher in the 2021 season. Oh, okay, so reward for finishing the ranked season in gold or higher. Okay, and then there's any more? Cancelled. What is this one here? Zone Chaos Blitzcrank. I like that one. I wonder why that's cancelled. You got Blitzcrank on the right and on the left. Who is that? Is that Timo? Is it? Or maybe it's Annie, with Annie being above in the middle as well. Maybe they cancelled it because of Gwen. Maybe, but no, I like that one. I do like that one. But yeah, since that's cancelled, I won't put that in my rankings. So if I had to pick my favourite one, my favourite one would have to be, if I'm being honest with you, it would have to be the upcoming one. I like this one. I like it for the look of Blitzcrank, but also everything it represents as well. In the background, you've got Zan on one side and Piltover on the other. Yeah, I like it. I do like this one. So that would be my number 1. Number 2 would be Witch's Brew. I like that one as well. I like the look of that, the Halloween vibe to that one. And number 3 would probably be Lancer. Yeah, Lancer Rogue, since this is kind of dark. I like this one. And also the size of him. Come on, speak properly. The size of him as well. So yeah, I like that one. That would be my number 3. So yeah, they're my top 3 skins. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to his story. Let's go. Okay, so this is the season 2019 login screen. The reason I've chosen this for Blitzcrank is because he doesn't technically have a login screen, and he is the thumbnail for this login screen. So that's my reach. That's my reach for why I'm listening to this. So let's go. Let me just pause and say straight away, this is the best, this is unmatched. 2019 cinematic is unmatched. Maybe in terms of visuals it is, but it's unmatched in terms of how it sounds. This is the best sounding one by far. It sounds so good. Okay, that is as good as it gets. That is as good as it gets. 2019, season 2019 login screen. Jeez. And that is right. That is one of the reasons why the Awakened cinematic is one of my favourite cinematics from League of Legends of all time. Wow. So yeah, basically nothing to do with Blitzcrank, but any excuse to listen to something as good as this, I'm definitely taking. So what we'll do now is we'll now move on to the story. Let's go. So his story is called Assemble. So, the plump belly of the rising howl looms before me, churning with its endless gears and elaborate ironwork. Some say the howl is named for the raw iron wolf that cries atop the apex of the hydraulic descender. Others swear the ghost of the black-veiled gentle servant haunts the cabin, and when the howl lifts him away from his lost love in Zone, the sounds of his moans reverberate and shake its metal core. Many Piltovers, convinced as they are in their own sound judgment, are sure the name refers to nothing more than a cold wind whistling between the crevices below the city. Okay, but to me the howl is not a single lone cry, it is an orchestra of noise, a melodic blend of 1,000 unique sounds. It is why I am drawn to the machine. Okay, the multi-tiered elevator supported by 3 vertical structural beams which span the height of the city descend to the promenade level and slows to a lurching halt. We know what these look like, don't we? Because in the map explore for Zorn. We get to see some of these elevators and also the promenade level as well. Disembark for the promenade, the conductor announces, her voice magnified by a bell-shaped xenophone. She adjusts her thick goggles as she speaks. Boundary markets, college of whatever that is, a horticultural centre. Passengers pour from the descender, dozens and others board and spread throughout its floors. Merchants travelling to Zorn to trade in the night bazaars, workers returning home to sleep, wealthy Zornites visiting night blooms in glass-domed cultivars. Then there are the unseen riders who have made the Howl their home. I spy them scurrying in the shadow, plague rats, shadow waves, and viridian beetles. Sometimes I climb down the crevices to descend to the sump, but tonight I long for the harmony of noise I know the descender creates. Instead of entering through the doorway, I swing around the outside and lock my grip on the bottommost bar, where rigid steel brackets frame the glass windows. My metal plates clank as I clamber onto the Howl, drawing stares from the passengers and what looks like a grimace from the conductor. My knowledge of the facial expressions grows each day. This is me talking about myself, isn't it? This is going to be Blitzcrank. Most passengers ride within the compartment, away from the cold and soot, but outside in the open air I can hear the satisfying click-clank of mechanical snapping into place and soft hiss of steam releasing as we sink into Zorn. And besides, I don't easily fit through most doors. So yeah, this is Blitzcrank. So, a small boy clings to his sump-scraped father's hands and gapes at me through the window. I wink at him and my mouth opens in what I estimate is surprise. He ducks behind his father. Going down, says the conductor. She rings the last bell and adjusts the dials on the bright red box. I can almost feel the commands buzz as they surge through wires in the descender engine. Below us, the iron particles of Zorn's towers and green glass cultivars glitter like candles in the dimming light. The Howl whirls and creaks as it cracks spiral down against the three towering beams, weighted down with iron, steel and glass. A blast of steam whistles from the topmost pipe. Inside the cabin, the sump scraper and his child look on as musical tunes his fourth string, whatever that is, and begins a sonorous melody. So he's playing some tune. Okay, it's good of him. His tune synchronises with the clacking gears and whirring machinery of the Howl. The father taps his foot to the rhythm. A beetle snaps her pincers as she scrambles away from the man's heavy boot. A gang of chem punks lean against the wall in soft riposte. And pause so unlike their unusual frenzied jaunts through the city. The Howl whirls in its perfect fusion of sound during our descent. I marvel at the symphony around me and I find myself humming along with the deep buzzing tones. The rhythm thrums through me and I wonder if all those around me feel it, which I'm sure they don't. Entresol, the conductor calls as the descender slows. A pair of couriers carrying parcels wrapped in twine disembark, along with a crew of Chemtech researchers and a crowd of Chemtech merchants. A merry crowd of Zornites from the theatre district step aboard. Down we go. I wonder if we get to the sump, she says, ringing her bell, and the Howl responds with a whir. The descender sinks and the window mists as vapour pours from the pipes above. Beads of water spread across my metallic chest as the harmony of clanking machinery and whooshing steams begin anew. A discordant murmur interrupts the patterns of sounds. The vibration is subtle, but I can tell something is off. I was waiting for something to kick up. This is kind of like a little journal or diary. Hopefully now we get some excitement. The descender continues as if all is normal until a jarring clunk breaks its perfect rhythm. Though I have never dreamed, I know a break in the pattern this abrupt is a machine's most frightening nightmare. The spiralling gearway is jammed and the cabin's iron brackets grate against it with a horrible screech. Many lives are at stake and I feel the machine's pain as it braces desperately against the support beams. The entire weight of the Howl heaves against its bending columns and the cabin tilts as it lurches in a lurching angle. Rivets burst from their seams as metal is pulled away from itself. We wobble for a moment, then drop. Uh-oh. Inside the cabin, passengers scream and gasp as their grasp at the nearest railing as they plunge. This is a different kind of Howl. Damn straight. I tighten my hold on the cabin's bottommost platform. I extend my other arm, launching it towards one of the three vertical structural beams. The iron column is slippery in the mist and my grip misses by inches, should I say. I retract my arm and steam blasts from my back as I try again, whizzing in towards the second beam. Another miss. Time slows. Inside the cabin, the chem punks cling to a ledge while the Viridian beetle flies out the open window. The sump scraper and his child brace themselves against the glass, which fractures under their weight. The boy tumbles out, scrabbling at the frame with his fingers before he slips and falls. I reach up and catch the boy mid-flight, then retract my arm. Hold on, I say. The child clings to the plates on my back. I fire my arm up towards the support beam once more, and this time my hand meets solid metal with a resounding clang as I secure my hold. So he's, like I said, he's like the miniature Iron Giant. My other arm is forced to extend as it's wrenched down by the plunging cabin so much that I feel my joints might fracture. Suspended in midair, I try to steady my grip. With a great jolt, my arm jerks as the descender halts its freeform. It shakes from the sudden stop, now supported by my arm. The boy shudders as he tightens his grip on my back. The hull is still 50 feet above the ground, hovering above the sump-level buildings. Like I said, we'll get to the sump. My overlapping metal plates groan as they strain against the weight of the concrete and I concentrate all my efforts on holding myself together. If I fall, the hull falls with me, along with all its passengers. So, while locking onto my arm onto the support beam, I slide my arm down the pillar. We drop 10 feet and the cabin stays precariously above, stabilising again. Sways. Sorry about that, I shout. Statements of empathy can be reassuring to humans in moments of crisis. I must try again. I must be strong. I release my grip on the support column ever so slightly, and with a pace and screech we gently slide down the remaining 40 feet to the ground. My valves sigh as they contract. Passengers echo my sighs as they stumble through the doors and broken windows into the sub-level, leaning on each other for support. The boy on my back breathes rapidly as he holds my neck. My arms whir as I retract them and lower myself to the ground, or to the floor, crouching down so the child can touch the ground. He scrambles back to his father, who embraces him. The conductor emerges from the descender and looks at me. You saved us, all of us, she says, her voice shaking from what I think is shock. Thank you. I'm simply fulfilling my purpose, I say. I am glad you are not hurt. Have a good day. She smiles, then turns to direct the crowd of Zornites who have gathered to offer their assistance to the passengers and begin repairs. One of the Chem Temp punk girls carries a musician's whatever that is, for him as he crawls from the descender. Several of the theatre folk comfort an elderly man. Two Hex-Tech mechanics stumble towards me and I direct them to a medical officer who is setting up a tented repair station. The murmurs of the passengers and the hissing groans of the wounded descender blend with the whirs and churning of the sump. The steam engine within my chest murmurs along and I am moved to whistle a tune. The boy turns and waves shyly at me. I wave back. He runs to catch up with his father, his heavy boots tapping a rhythm on the cobblestones. Shifting wheels sing and gears clickety-clang within the belly of the rising hound. The Viridian beetle snaps her pincers in time with the beat as she zooms away into the sump. Okay, interesting. Assemble. Interesting story. More like a journal. That's kind of his log, his diary. The day in the life of Blitzcrank, basically. More like that than a classical story. But that was good. That was good to read as well. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here today, guys, on this one. Like I said before, he does have a spotlight, but I'm not going through it. It's too old. His spotlight is too old. I promise after I've done Vladimir's, which is the oldest one I've done, I think about 11 years old, I'm not doing another one that old. So I'm not going to cover his spotlight. I've already gone through his abilities. He doesn't seem to have any special interactions that I can find. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here today, guys, on this one. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed my thoughts and reactions to his story, his skins, and also his bio. I will be going through another Zone Champion shortly. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.